So, if you have clicked on this video, it's most likely that you're going through a spiritual awakening. And the reason why I wanted to make this video today is because I have also gone through a spiritual awakening at 18 years old when I had a near death experience. And I want to explain and share with you everything about my journey to help you on yours. So, let's get started. What is a spiritual awakening? What you are going through, if it feels hard, if you're questioning your identity, if you're questioning your environment, if you're questioning your old beliefs and everything that you thought was true and that you thought you knew about the world or about life or about yourself, then that is a clear sign that you are going through a spiritual awakening. A spiritual awakening often feels extremely hard and it can last from multiple weeks to sometimes a few years. The universe doesn't really have a specific timeline for how long a spiritual awakening is. It's just whatever that is the lesson that your souls have to go through to learn what it is that you need to learn, as well as integrating what it is that it needs to integrate. So the timeline is so different for everyone. And even the initiation, the initiatory event that leads up to the spiritual awakening is also extremely different for everyone. I can name a few. So, for example, in my situation, it was the car accident. For other people, it might have been a health condition, a sudden awareness of an illness, a financial crisis, a relationship crisis, an identity crisis in some form or another, a social identity crisis. So basically, what happens, the initiatory event, is this shake up in your psyche of what you knew to be true no longer is. And so this shaking up of the psyche is causing you to question everything about your life. For me, when I had that near death experience at 18, I was going to university at the time, but I was questioning everything. I was questioning, why did I have to focus on getting good grades? Why does it matter to get a degree? Why is pursuing a business career even matter to me? Why was it that everyone was following this path? It is basically an existential crisis, you could call it. And that can happen at any age. People often kind of point to a specific age, but what I have seen truly is that a spiritual awakening can happen at any age and it can happen multiple times. So I'm saying that because I don't want you to compare yourself to anyone in this world, whether your spiritual awakening happened when you were 7 or teenager or young adult or into adulthood. It doesn't really matter because life has its own magic, and the timeline that the universe brings about these events is something that is, number one, outside of your control. Number two, it has its own invisible purpose and meaning behind it. And when your soul is ready, that is when you will experience a spiritual awakening. And that leads me to another point, is that people think that life just happens to them. But what I truly believe is that you choose the spiritual awakening experiences in your life. Your soul at some level chose the specific experiences. Whether your conscious human self knows it or not, but your soul truly knows it, and it has chosen these experiences in order to awaken, in order to evolve. The people that are choosing to evolve and awaken, there is this big sense of curiosity about the world, about who they are and what they are meant to do. And those are really difficult questions, but they are so powerful and meaningful in your life. For example, I I had this program called the Soul Trailblazer. And essentially, the people that I worked with in that program, it's all about answering two questions. Who are you and why are you here? The reason why I bring you to this is because there's a theme that I want to share with you. The theme of this journey of spiritual awakening that you are on. You will question these two things in your life. Who am I and why am I here? And whenever people tell me that they are asking themselves these two questions, I know for a fact they are in this initiatory process called spiritual awakening. And I want to tell you all about it because when I was going through it, I had no idea what the heck was going on. I was so lost. I was so confused. And I felt like I was walking blindly for 7 years. I kid you not. I had no connection to spirituality at that time. It was more so me searching for spirituality. It wasn't me remembering or connecting with the spirituality that was already in me. It was me searching. And so that's totally normal and that's totally okay. That's why this phase is called spiritual seeker. You're a spiritual seeker. But what I want to make this video to share with you because this journey is so magical. This path that you are about to walk on that feels so terrifying at times and it feels like it's shaking your whole entire ground is one of the most magical experience you will ever have in your life. And I'm saying this with so much joy because when I look back, I thought to myself, oh my God, all of the times that I felt so lost and I questioned my whole life and I'm depressed, there was a meaning, there was a purpose. It was like that is the medicine in and of itself. All of the depressive feelings, the sadness, the heaviness, moving through childhood wounds and questioning my belonging. Those are the medicine, but I didn't know it at the time. So imagine me like your future self coming back to you and sharing with you that what you are experiencing. My English is just like it goes off when I'm really focused. When what you are experiencing is the medicine being integrated in your life experience. You may not know it, but it truly is working in you. So, for example, a spiritual awakening is hard because emotional wounds come up. Family, belongings, social belonging, sense of status, achievement, the ego, the social identity, all of the things that basically developed you psychologically into a young adult. Please notice the word psychologically because I'm not talking about age. I'm talking about how our psyche develops. The reason why I have to make this distinction is because people think that just because they get to a certain age, that a natural process happens in their psyche. But it's not true. Only people who do the inner work actually evolve in the soul process. People who actively do the inner work, they are conscious and they participate actively in this soul evolving process. People who don't, people who just more focus on the external world, they also go through it, but they don't go through it actively. So it's very much kind of reacting to the external world, waiting for things to initiate them. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It can repeat in an ongoing cycle subconsciously and they never get out of certain phases of the soul. So basically, What I'm saying is psychologically, you are moving to the next stage of your psyche development. That's what a spiritual awakening process is that you are going from where you are now to the next level of development in your psyche, in your soul. And so the area that you are going to, it's going to look different for everyone, right? The destination, the terrain, the process is going to look different for everyone, but they have very common themes. And I want to share a little bit about the destination because I think the destination is really beautiful. And I want to share that as a light of hope for you to know that if you're going through something so dark and you're lost, there is a massive light at the end of the tunnel. And I'm getting body chills as I'm saying this. And I know that this is going to resonate with who it needs to resonate. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. Life and spirit and the universe did not take you on a journey to lead you to a darker tunnel with never-ending sight. There is a light of hope at the end of the tunnel. And that is when you have this newfound of realization of the new truth within you about who you are in the world that you're participating in. You gain more clarity about who you are and how you want to participate in the world. You gain clarity about your true sense of identity that isn't colored or defined by the outside world. The product of that is the most beautiful thing. In Jungian psychology, they call this the process of individuation. Process of when a person is disintegrating from all of the socially constructed identity, meaning all of the things that people have ever called you, any kind of family roles that you were in, any kind of jobs, just external things that used to define you. You're letting go of all of that and you are moving towards an internalized, defined identity. An identity that is true to your core being. And it is an identity that you chose and that you also know it is in you. It's something that you connect to. And so I want to talk more even about this beautiful destination that you're arriving to because there's a purpose. When you arrive to this destination, there is a purpose waiting for you. Now, I know I'm speaking it like there's a treasure because there is. There is. And I don't want to use any kind of spiritual bypass quote of like, oh, well, the journey is the destination. It is, but I'm going to speak the truth about the destination because there is a destination, right? And that destination is the foundation for the ongoing journey and the next evolution. So the destination is not final, but it is a destination. And it is a destination that you arrive to. And it is a destination where you will stay in and you will reap all of the rewards that you have done, all of the work, all of the processes. And in that phase, that destination, you're brewing something to set a new foundation for your life and ongoing evolution and progress. But there is a destination. And that destination brings you this sense of newfound purpose. You're no longer working in the world because you have to make money. You may have to do that as a bridge, meaning you may have to, of course, work and things like that along the way to support yourself, etc. But a sense of purpose, a sense of a vocation, a calling, a sense of like, this is my purpose in the world. Like, this is what I was born to do. That is where the treasure of that destination that you are arriving to. You cannot get there by thinking. You cannot get there by sitting there and journaling because life is going to lead you on a journey. It's going to lead you on a journey of exploration and adventure. You're going to meet the people that you need to meet, attend events, workshop, retreats, certain things that you need to, because all of those things are alchemizing a process in you. It is changing, shifting, and transforming in you. So you just sitting here and reflecting and writing about it is not, what I'm saying is trying to just get to the answer is not how it works. That's why it is a journey. Life will lead you on this journey and will show you the way. And all of the things that happen in between is supposed to be magical to show you the way. And so this process of coming to this sense of purpose, you may or may not be able to name it clearly, but there is this inner knowing. I think for everyone it's going to resonate differently, but I know for a fact there's an inner knowing of this is the arrival state. Like, this is it. This is what I've been searching for. It's here. This is the answer. This is why I walk this long journey to discover this. Okay. Wow. I feel like that was like a transmission that just came through. So, wherever you are on this process, I want to encourage you to keep going, because what you're going to find at the end is truly magical. But also the journey that you're taking at every step, even though terrifying, is extremely rewarding, and it is showing you who you are and what you are meant to do in the world. So I just want to acknowledge your bravery. Acknowledge how brave you are for asking this question and for going on this journey. It is so brave. So I want to acknowledge that. And I hope that I get to connect with you and learn more about your journey and what's going on. So if that feels aligned and open, please share with me in the comments. I will definitely read it. And I thank you so much for tuning into this video. And I just so appreciate your time, your presence, and I hope to see you in other videos. Thank you. Bye bye.